welcome back to In Studio Pro Series Edition. Today we have the man that probably needs no introduction to the Barbadian public, but here we have Jonathan Jones. Jonathan, introduce yourself.
Jonathan Jones, multiple time record holder for Barbados and for my school, schools in general, and just that guy.
Just that guy. So, as you said, multiple record holder at the collegiate level, the inter-school level, at the international level. Tell us, how did you become involved in track and field?
Coercion.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, I was forced into track and field because at first my passion was volleyball. I still have love for volleyball. Everybody could see that. I always attend volleyball games here and there. But while playing volleyball, Mr. Armstrong, the coach and Perry, PE coach, and my coach wanted me to try out cross country. So it was either do what Armstrong said or run suicides at volleyball practice. So after being reluctant for a little while and being hard-headed and running some suicides, I realized that wasn't for me. And I'd rather just run the cross country and get it over with. So I had some success. Obviously, I wasn't winning back then, but it was probably top 10, which was pretty decent and pretty standard for somebody just getting in. And yeah, I just found a love for track and field and cross country at first, but then it flowed over to track and field once I got into track and field practice.
So you said you were coerced, you were playing volleyball. So at what age would you have started, really say you started track and field?
I started track and field for real, seriously, probably around fourth form, which is late for most people, getting into sport. Most people get into sports pretty young, but I was just doing everything before then. Cricket, I was playing road tennis at home, cricket, football, just anything.
So pretty much the typical island boy life.
Yeah.
Just playing everything, you're outside, you're getting out and about. So at which point, well, you said in full form is when you started to take it seriously. But at which point you realized that you could take track to the next level?
I think it was when I started to I don't know how to say this. Once I was seeing what it was doing for others, for scholarship boys, because I remember Shakira Hall, I remember Janelle Craig, I remember all these people that went to CP before me. I went on, got scholarships, and was in the collegiate system. I was just getting scholarships, getting education for free. I was that could be me. That could help out my family, put less stress on my grandmother for all the sacrifices she was making. I'm a grandfather. So when I saw the benefits that came with track and field, and came with sports in general, I just took it a little bit more serious. But I was still having fun, but I understood the benefits that came with it.
Lovely, lovely. So that, in seeing those that went before you, that encouraged you to take it a bit more seriously.
And it helps because I know that they came from where I was coming from. It wasn't oh, that's selected for only Harrison College students or only Queens College. I was CP students, just like anybody else, come from all walks of life, all backgrounds, come up through CP, work hard on academics and athletics, and saw the benefits and reap the rewards.
Love that. So for you now, you were at the University of Texas, correct? And how did that scouting process go about? Did you know that that is the school you were going to? Did you have options?
I had options, but I took one visit. University of Texas was my first visit. And I remember it was December 3rd, I think I took my visit. And I went to a volleyball game, of course, on my visit. They won and demolished the other team. And I just liked the dominance, I liked the culture that they had, not just on the track, but in all the sports. And then resources, facilities, the coaches. Even though the coaching staff changed when I got there, they still bring in 4, elite level. So when I got there, I just couldn't say no. Man, everybody else was it was done. It was a done deal.
It was a done deal?
Yeah.
So you would say you enjoyed your collegiate career then?
Yeah. I still got one season. So I can't say enjoy.
Season. Oh, okay.
Still got one
so
more.
You're enjoying your collegiate.
Yeah.
So tell me about the day in the life of a collegiate athlete? What does that look like for you?
It depends, but every day is usually hectic, well organized, but still hectic. So, say for instance, on the Mondays, depending on my class schedule, depending on which semester it is, oh my God, class in the morning, gotta go rush from class to the dining hall, get something for either breakfast or skip breakfast, get lunch, go to another class usually, run from that class to practice, go from, well, actually, no, before you get to practice, you should go to the trainers, try to get some treatment in before practice, go to practice. I at least spend 30 to an hour after practice with the trainers, needling, soft tissue, whatever is needed to get my body ready for the next day because you gotta do that all again. And then added, going from Monday to Tuesday, now you gotta wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning to do weights in the morning and then repeat that entire cycle. So just think of doing that every day, your entire collegiate life.
You mentioned something there that I want to segue onto a bit. You said spending time with the trainers, getting the soft tissue, because recovery is key. So you spend a lot of time with the recovery to prepare you for your next day.
Yeah, if you don't prepare for the next day, just know it could be a horrible experience because you're competing not just with some of the best in the collegiate system, but depending on your school, we have professionals training with us and they don't change the workouts. So what the professionals doing, we're doing. So if you think that you as a collegiate athlete could just do the workout, go home, and then come back the next day, like if the pros that they could pay money to go and get treatment, and you have it for free, you might as well use it.
I understand. So you would have mentioned at school you train with professionals, all right? You even had a stint on the professional circuit recently. You were able to run some races. But the race in particular, I want you to walk us through. Is that particular, you know the race I'm talking about. That race that you ran by yourself. What was going through your head?
So that was my second Diamond League race. The first one was Prefontaine in Oregon. No, it was in California because Oregon's track was messed up at the time. And that went well. I think I got fourth against the professionals and against people that usually were beating me in the collegiate season that just turned pro. So it was like a good experience to run against pros. And then we moved to Monaco, which is international in France, and one of the biggest Diamond Leagues. So I was nervous, but so zoned in and so locked in. And it didn't help that I didn't speak French. So I had no clue that there was like a false start. All I heard was Jonathan, Jonathan. So I was like, yeah, I'm about to win this race. But it was still a good experience. They wanted me to try to run again 5 minutes after the race. I was like, physically, I can't. I just run a PR by myself. And he was like, you know what?
You know how insane it is to run a PR by yourself? That's how you were so locked in. I love that.
At one point, what was his name? The jumper for USA, or the triple jumper. Christian. He was on the track. Allegedly, I didn't see him. That's how locked in I was. He was on the track waving me down, and it was just going. Couldn't find him.
That's one of my favorite Jonathan races ever.
I got a lot of them.
Yeah. The other one for me is it was World Youth. When you cross the lane and you look at the clock and you're like.
A big PR.
Yeah, big PR. That's why I absolutely love the evolution of Jonathan Jones to be showing emotion. Yeah, because a lot of people won't know, but I traveled with you from a peripheral athlete when it was Mr. Straight Face, Mr. Straight Lace, but we
never smile.
Yeah, never ever. But
I rarely smile still, but it's getting better.
Yeah, I really enjoy that. Also, how does it feel to be running against your idols? So, because I'm sure there are people that you're running against now, you're competing against that you used to be looking at before.
Like 3 that's always stand out: Fred Curley, Michael Norman, Kirani James. obviously they got a lot of professionals that I looked up to just because they're so great, performances so outstanding. But those three in particular, when Fred Curley was dominating the collegiate system, Michael Norman dominating, and then just Kirani James being Kirani James. And I talked to two of them, like Fred, me could DM, like I asked questions. He asked me like
that's good.
Kirani James, through Obadeli Thompson, I got linked with him, like as a mentor, kind of. Like obviously we still got to compete against each other, but as a Caribbean person, it's like I look up to you. I want to know how you get through certain things and how you overcome certain things. And he kind enough and such a great person in general to even assist what could be like
Yeah,
an
because the
enemy.
professional scene too is also new for you, and that is where you're projected to be going. So it's good to have somebody from your region that you can look up to.
Yeah, but at the same time, when you gotta race them, you gotta take them off the pedestal.
Exactly.
Shade said don't put them on the pedestal in general, but like as a child looking up to these people, I was like saying don't put Bo on a pedestal. It's like it's so impossible to do. I understand and I learned how to do it. But when the race come, even before the race, like leading up, I got like that's competition, not my idols.
Yeah.
When it all said and done, I know that great individuals, great athletes, but I still got to be the same for myself.
Yes, I agree. I love that. And so tell us about your support system. Earlier you mentioned your grandparents, and I know being away at college can be difficult sometimes because you're away from home and what's familiar.
Yeah, no Shafet was as soon as I came back, I had Shafet like 3 days in a row. But
you sure you want to say this for your coach?
No, it's fine. It's fine. He already know that was gonna happen. But yeah, my grandparents was a big role here and even abroad. My grandmother messaged me every day, voice message, call. I will call when I can, voice message when I can, stay in contact, make sure she's all right. And now over there, I have access to sports psychologists, mental health professionals, just to make sure that I don't get too homesick or I don't get too, too burnt out with track and field, because that's all I really do, track and field. Then I have to find other things to help ease my mind. So the support system is usually my friends and the professionals paid for by my school.
Okay, that's wonderful. Do you find the mental health aspect has played a major role in how you have performed, how you've improved?
Definitely last season, I took a lot of time meditating and doing yoga based on what my therapist from UT was telling me. She said she thinks it would help a lot, and honestly, the yoga helped, obviously physically, meditation helped strengthen my mind. And then just talking out my problems, knowing that, you got confidentiality. So I know that what I say here stays here. And just getting that off. And then I could just go and focus on training, focus on competing and just doing what I need to do. So the mental health aspect really did help.
Wonderful. So to wrap up our interview, one last thing. Do you have any advice to athletes that are looking to the collegiate scene, to the professional scene? You were doing the collegiate scene, you've done some professional races. What's your advice to that CP student that's watching this right now?
To that CP student and to all that would be watching, just don't give yourself a ceiling, because you will hit your ceiling and you will never go past it. If you set goals, that's great. I used to set ridiculous goals. Like when I remember it was my first Carifta, I wanted to win a gold medal. And then my second Carifta, my goals was like, not even a goal. I want both the Carifta records. I don't think that was done in a long time. But that's my goal. I want an outlandish goal. So set your goals so high that even if you don't hit them, you still have something pretty amazing that you landed on.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Jonathan, for joining us in studio. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your Christmas break to be here with us.
Thanks for having me.
And we wish you all the best, not only in your final season as a collegiate athlete, but when you hit the pro circuit. All right, we're gonna be looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is Jonathan Jones, 6-time national record holder for Barbados, and I was in studio with Sports Therapy 101.